Welcome to Warriors TV, and today we are talking with veteran forward Shaun Kippin. First of all, Shaun, thank you for joining us.
Thanks very much for having us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, big news. Let's start off with the appointment of Tony Hand. So what's your thoughts on that as him coming in as coach?
Really happy. Obviously, I think I mentioned when the press release got released. Really fortunate to have Lobby and Tony as coaches. Obviously, two of probably the best British players to ever play the game. And just speaking with Tony as well over the last few weeks, it's been nice to sort of pick his brain and talk to him about a few things. And he's got some good plans for the future.
He certainly has, some of which were announced at the fan forum last month. So what's been your initial opinion of both of Tony and William and some of the things that they've mentioned?
Yeah, obviously you mentioned the fan forum. I think there was some really good ideas there. I particularly like the sort of shirt off the back or the own and loan for a Christmas present. I thought that was a nice touch as well. There was loads of really good ideas. Obviously, the introduction of a mascot as well. Having a family myself, I think my son will be all over him. Things like that from Willie's point of view, I think he's got some really good ideas. From Tony's point of view, obviously, on the fan forum day, he got the lads together beforehand and set out his stall for the season, told us his plans, told us what he expected of us and what we expect of him. He's given us some training plans for the summer. He's got us in the gym 4 days a week. So he's talking about sort of systems and what we're going to work on next year, and obviously our aims for next year also. That was really good to hear.
Yeah, all sounds exciting stuff and very professional too. I think it's fair to say you're one of the veteran players on the Warriors roster. So have they come to you for advice and asked your opinion on certain things?
Not necessarily, no. Obviously, I just sort of help with telephone numbers and try to put them in touch with a few different players. But for the moment, obviously, I don't really need to tell them what to do. They know exactly what they're after. But yeah, I'm still here if they do need any help, because obviously I have been here a number of years.
Yeah, and an ideal person to go to. As we mentioned there, you've signed on for another season. So was that part of the reason, the fact that you're going to work with somebody as big a name as Tony Hand?
Yeah, definitely. I thought definitely you don't get that opportunity quite. I just want to sort of learn from him as much as possible. There was other things as well, like I thought we did really well at the playoff final weekend. I thought that sort of opened my eyes and sort of thought we do have a good team here and stuff to look forward to for the future. So yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned last season. It probably at one point wasn't going the way we would have liked down the stretch of the last sort of third of the season, as it were. But come playoff time, we seem to refine that form, and there seemed to be a real push, and we got some good performances off the back of it, and particularly the final against Solway, where we were probably unlucky to not to have got more from that one.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. I think playoffs wise, we had we give D-side a really good game. The Birmingham game, we were on our feet by the end of it. We were playing sort of two lines. I thought the team pulled together really, really well. And on the Sunday as well, I thought we were really unlucky. Just a couple of bounces didn't go our way, and they were clinical. Obviously, Callum Hepburn still on his head as well, but we could have went either way that game. I thought we did a really good account of ourselves.
Yeah, Solway have now announced that they're stepping up to the National League, so that opens things up a little bit in the league for next season. So what's your thoughts about that? Because I guess it's a big opportunity that Whitley could be competing for trophies again this year.
Yeah, we could do. I mean, that's obviously the aim. It's what we're set out to do. But Blackburn have just signed a couple of players from the league above. Billingham finished above us last year. They finished second. Rowley signed on for another season there. But we've just got to be confident and just concentrate on ourselves. And yeah, we want to be up there by the end of the season.
Yeah, great stuff. Well, me and you go way back. We've known each other for a number of years. So from a personal side of it, I'm really pleased to see you're back on board with the Warriors for another year. Wouldn't be the same without you. Let's just say that straight away. You've got an important role now, though, haven't you? Because you have got that veteran leadership. You're quite often the go-to guy for the younger players, and you bring the best out of them. So you're kind of like a big brother almost, aren't you, to some of the lads on that team?
I think so. Yeah, obviously get a lot of the old jokes or whatever here from the lads. But yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think it's been like that the sort of last 5 years. To be honest with you, there's obviously a little bit of a gap there, but I just remember when I was young, I had players like sort of Tyndale, Brian Dunn, Rob Wilson. That they all helped me when I was a young lad. So just trying to repay it back years later.
Yeah, and that's great to see. And finally, I mean, the thoughts of next season. It's exciting times, isn't it? And I'm sure that the fans are going to be excited to see some of the names that will be announced later on.
Yeah, I hope so. Obviously, the fans forum, Tony mentioned he was trying to speak. He was obviously still in talks with Phil Edgar and maybe a couple of other imports. So I'm excited to see what happens there. Obviously, we've got some juniors coming through as well. But I think just the appointment of Tony is going to be really influential. And obviously, there's plans that Willie's got as well to get people through the door. It's going to be a proper marketing plan to get people through the door. So it's going to be really exciting to see how many fans we're getting next year. But from the players' point of view as well, I'm just looking forward to getting back and excited to get started.
That's great to hear. And Shaun, always a pleasure. And thank you.
Cheers. Thanks very much, Adam.